Assalamu alaikum. In this video, I'm going to show you how to ground your bed and create a grounding system so you can get 8 hours of daily grounding benefits. I know I've spoken about the scientific benefits of grounding, but you can pretty much do that, and instead of 20 minutes like most of these studies are saying, you can get 8 hours. And these studies are showing things like decreased inflammation, improved skin, improved mental and physical performance, decreased symptoms from chronic diagnoses. The list goes on and on and on about the benefits of grounding, so there's no reason that you shouldn't do this. The basic equipment, you don't need much. It's not very expensive. Basic hammer and some pliers or a wrench. That's the tools you'll need. And then you're going to need a copper grounding rod. It can be copper bonded, so essentially steel on the inside. 100% copper is going to be pretty expensive. Doesn't make much sense. Now the second would be the copper wire. So I have 2.5 millimeters as the diameter, which is quite thick. I'll show you later. So you can do between 1 millimeter and 2.5 millimeters. It's just when you go down that lower end, it's going to get a little bit more fragile. So if you're putting it through a window, it might get cut. So just take that into consideration. And then we're going to need an acorn clamp, 5/8 in diameter, just like the copper rod. And those are the first three. And that's going to be the outdoor area. And then the indoor area will be the Faraday fabric, so the conductive tape that'll go on the bed or your bed sheet. And then we'll have an ESD anti-static grounding cord that goes from the copper wire into the Faraday fabric. So I'll show you what the bedroom setup looks like first, and then we'll go downstairs. So let's get into it. Yeah, I'll show you what we're doing here on the bed. So we have a grid taping system. I have about a 10-inch spacing. So on a king-sized bed, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6. So it's a 5x6. And this is Faraday fabric tape. And it's pretty comfortable to sleep on. And the reason I have it on the mattress pad is because we don't have a bed sheet right now. So when we put the bed sheet on, we're going to put it on the bed sheet and leave it in the sun so the fabric tape can stick properly. I also wouldn't advise that you put the sheet in the washer. I would advise that you hand wash it just so that fabric tape doesn't come off and it stays on properly. Now here is what will protect us from the thunderstorms, and this is an ESD anti-static cord. So you can see I have my copper wire here, and it's linked to that into the ESD anti-static grounding cord. And then what I essentially do, we're going to go downstairs, and I'm going to show you where to put the copper rod and how to put the copper wire into it. So I'll see you then. Alrighty, so we're downstairs now. This is where you can see the wire getting strung from my bedroom window upstairs down to my grounding rod. I needed about 5 meters. Depending on where your window is going to your grounding rod, I would probably suggest maybe 2 or 3 meters. Now, the place where you put your grounding rod is very important because you want a place that stays relatively damp, and you want a place that's deep enough to hammer that rod into the ground. So if we get a little bit closer here, I have about a 4-inch spacing that I leave, or 10 centimeters, so I can put that the acorn clamp over the copper wire. We'll wrap this around as tight as we possibly can to ensure it stays stable, and then we'll use pliers to make sure this is tight enough to keep it in place. That's pretty much it. It's a pretty simple setup, relatively inexpensive. Hope you guys enjoy your grounding benefits. I also have a school community going over some other things to optimize your health that I recently launched, so I have a pretty good discount if you guys check that out. If you're in a more urgent health situation, I also do one-on-one coaching, so if you want to get in contact with me, if you're curious about that, you can fill the form down below. Anyway, see you guys soon, and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.